Okay, so I'm trying to make this quick because I know you guys have other things to do. So solve, check, and graph. Let me set my pen. So I'll write it over here again. N minus 12 equals 33. You want to use inverse operations to use this. So plus 12, plus 12. Minus 12 and plus 12 will cancel each other out. We can get M. We add 33 and 12, we get 55. Do our check. So our check we're going to do, right? M minus 12 is going to 33. I'm going to substitute. I'm going to 55 minus 12 equals 33. And 55 minus 12 is indeed 33 equals 33. Our graph is going to look like this. Here's 55, 56, 57, and we're going to, oops, I did that backwards. This is 54, sorry. Put a circle on top of 55, and this is an equation. In the equation, there's only one possible solution. And the only solution to that is 55. I'm not going to put an arrow that way because numbers to the right are not going to satisfy this equation. Numbers to the left are not going to satisfy the equation. So the only answer is going to be 55, and that's it. 63 plus y equals 77. Use inverse operation. We're going to do minus 63 over here. Y equals 14. Let's see if that's true. So 63, we'll replace the y with 14, equals 77. 63 plus 14 is indeed 77, which equals 77 on this other side. So my equation here is correct, right? 14, 15, 13, circle, shade. 3. Hopefully I have time to do this. 4k equals 36, so now we know that this is a multiplication, so the inverse of multiplication is division. 4k equals 36, right? So line, divide everything. I'll divide this by 4, and divide this by 4. 4 divided by 4 gives me 1, or it's going to give me 1k, or just simply k. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Substitute. 4 times 9 equals 36. And I get that 36 is indeed equal to 36. So, let me do it on here. Let me graph that. 9, 10, 8. Put a circle on top of 9. I'm going to shade it. And that's it for equation. This one, h divided by 0.4 equals 64. So, a number divided by 0.4 equals 64. Line in the middle. Opposite of division is multiplication, so I'm going to multiply this side by 0.4. Now multiply this side by 0.4. This becomes 1. H, or just h. 64 by 0.4 is 16. 24, 25.6. So over here, when I substitute, I get 25.6 divided by 0.4. Does that equal 64? Imagine for a second that you had $25.60 and you were to make groups of 40 cents, 40 cents, 40 cents. How many groups of 40 cents would you be able to make? You would eventually make 64 groups, and therefore 64 groups is 64 is equal to 64 on the other side. Okay. 5. This one is, you're going to use the reciprocal, right? So 3/4 W equals 15. So we want to multiply this side and this side by the reciprocal of this fraction, which is 4/3. And remember, what you do on one side, you do the other. This whole thing becomes 1, or just W. 1W, or just or W. And then here, we can put this over 1. 15 times 4 is 60, right? And then 60 divided by 3 gives me, so W is 20. Let's check. 3/4, I'll put up times 20 equals 15. Put over 1. 3 times 20 is 60. 4 times 1 is 4. Is 60 over 4 the same thing as 15? Yes, it is. There we go. Graph. Here's my 20, 21, and 19. The circle. Shade. Okay. Is m equals 5 a solution to the equation? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. So instead of the m, I'm going to substitute and replace it with a 5. So 2 times 5 plus 12 equals 34. So is my left value here equal to the right value? Well, 2 times 5 is 10 plus 12 is 34. Let's continue. 10 and 12 is 22. And you can obviously tell they're not equal, so no. Determine if a equals 5 is a solution. Well, let's substitute. 4 times 5 is 19 less or equal to 20? Yes. This one. 5 is definitely one of the solutions. Is w equals 12 a solution to this? Well, let's see. 12 over 5 is greater than 3. 12 divided by 5 is 22.4. So 12 divided by 5 is 2.4. It's greater than 3. Is that true? No. I think I'm sick. Let's graph this. To pass a test, students might earn a grade of 75 and above. Okay, so my grade, so here's my variable, G for grade. Here's the 75. What does your grade have to be in relationship to 75? It must earn a grade of 75 and above. So your grade has to be greater than 75 or equal. Values that will work, well, I'm going to graph this first of all. Here's 75, here's 76. The circle is going to shade, and which way are we going to point? We want values that are greater than 75, so this one goes this one. 3 possible solutions, well, 75 would work, 76, and 98. There are 3 values right there. Anything that's to the right of, that's equal to 75 or greater 75. To fight in the middleweight division, fighters must be under 160 pounds. So I'm going to put M for middleweight, 160. So if you want to be in that middleweight division, you have to be under 160. So if you're 159, you're good. 158. If you're 160, are you good? No. So let's graph this. So if you one day want to be a fighter, boxing or MMA, your weight has to be, and you want to fight in the middleweight division, your weight has to be anything under. So we're going to point that to the left because all those weights will work. And we're not going to shade 160 because if you're 160, you wouldn't be in the middleweight. It has to be under. So possible weights, you could be 159, you could be 159.5, you could be 157. As long as you're under 160, you would be in the middleweight category. The most you should spend on a gift is $75. Well, depending what the occasion is. So here's G for gift, here's 75. So the most you should spend on the gift. Can I spend 75? Yes. Can I spend 76? No. So can I spend 74? Yes. So under 75 is good, or even equal to 75. Here's my graph. And you want to go shade because 75 is okay, and anything under 75. So my gift could cost 75, 73, it can even cost 20, as long as it's under 75. Your speeding ticket, you will get a speeding ticket if your speed is greater than 65 miles. So here's my ticket, and 65. When will I get a ticket? If it's greater than 65. Will I get a ticket if I drive at 65? No, it has to be greater, so no equal sign here. So it's going to be unshaded because 65 I don't get a ticket, but that's the moment it hits anything in value above 65 I get a ticket. So 65.1, although that's probably not going to happen, but 65.1 theoretically get your ticket. 70, 80 will definitely get your ticket. So there are my three values. Okay. I translate these to equation. A number n decreased 8 is 12. N minus 8 equals 12. So just do it right under it. It really makes life very simple. 9 is 9. Less means minus. N equals 15. This is not a turnaround because this is just less. If it said less than, then you would do a turnaround. Okay? It was switched. But it's not. 50 is equal to k multiplied by 8. Here's 50. Is equal means the equal sign to k multiplied by 8. Or if you wanted to clean that up, this would be better written 8k. Okay? You always want the coefficient first. 17, increase means plus, by 18 is 93. That is definitely wrong. Okay, that should be 17 increased by a number, not by 18. Okay, so just ignore that. Alright, so we talked about this in class today for a little bit. So let me write Kathy over here. So Kathy scored 34 points. Now, write an equation to represent what Nancy scored. So Nancy, how do I get to Cassie? So I know that Cassie has more points. So Nancy, whatever Nancy scored, plus 10 points will give you 34. And that's my equation right here. Let's try 55 here. And that's what Tom earned. So let's use a combination of something with Sandra to give you Tom. So Tom earned definitely more. So whatever Sandra earned, no, hang on a second. Sandra earned $32 less than Tom. Oh yeah, so whatever Sandra earned plus 32 would give 55. So the equation would be S plus 32 equals 55, right? Because Sandra earned less. So in this case, you have to add to Sandra to get to Tom. The area of a small rectangular apartment is, so area, how do we find area of an apartment? Well, rectangle, so area of an apartment is length times width. Agreed? Right? We multiply the length, so if you have a rectangle, for example, here, and you know this was 5 and this was 2, to find the area of this rectangle, you multiply 5 times 2, and that would give you 10 units squared. What does that mean? It means that in here, 3, 4, 5, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little squares, right? So the area of a small rectangle apartment is 150. So it is telling me that this area, the area is already measured. It's 150. The length is 10. And the width is missing. So here's your equation. 150 equals 10 times W. So what was the width of, so you had a rectangle here where the length was 10 and we're missing the width. Right? So 10 times what number gave you the 150 area? So in this case, well, it's not that difficult to find out, and it'd be W has to be 15, right? Okay, and if you wrote the equation, which we did right here, okay, now you have 150 equals 50 equals 10W. Draw the line in the middle. Right? We're going to divide this by 10, divide this by 10. Cross out the 10s, giving you 1W or just W. And 150 divided by 10 gives us 15. So the length of our width is 15, in this case, meters. Okay. Write an equation from these two tables. Okay, so let's see how we do that. So do you see a relationship here? It would be times 21 times 21, so times 21, this should be 84. So the total T is going to be 21, right? Everything's multiplied times what? The number of books. Oh, right? 21B. This looks like it's times 15, times 15, times 15, and then times 15, this would be 90. For the equation, to find the cost, the total cost, I would multiply 15 times the number of games. Hang on a sec. All right, so this one is a, let's see, times 12. Times 12, times 12, times 12 gives us 132. So what's the equation? Well, the equation, to get my wages, I have to multiply the number of hours times 12. So 12 times H. This one, how do I get Y? How do I turn the 2 into a 13, the 6 to a 33? Let's see, times 6 times 6. What is it? 2 times 6 plus 1? No, it doesn't work. Times 7, 14. No. Times 8. 6 times 7 is 42. 55 minus 2, no. I don't know the answer to this. Times 7 minus 1. Let's see, times 7 is 42. No. Times 5 plus 3. Okay, got it. This one would be times 5. It's everything. So to get to Y, the 13, I have to take the 2 multiplied by every single number here is multiplied by 5 and add this 3. So it's 5 times the x plus 3. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 is 13. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 3 is 33. Okay. Identify the independent and dependent variables. So they cost $1.25 each. So she's going to buy apples. So the cost, the total, is going to be what? 125 times the number of apples, right? Total. So who's your dependent? The total. Like D here. Who's your independent? Your apple. Okay, so write essentially the total that you're going to pay depends on the apples. So again, the cost, the total, whatever you want to call it, is always your dependent, right? So the cost of your evening when you go bowling is going to be based on what? On the shoe rental, which is $6, right, for the whole evening, plus $4.50 per game. Who is your dependent? Right here, right? The cost depends on this. And who's your independent? Your games. Okay. I am definitely not feeling well. And we have two more. Table shows the relationship between hours and miles driven. Write an equation to describe the relationship. Okay, so the total miles, and now complete the sentence. Remember, the miles that you drive depends on the hours. Right? So you see a relationship? Times 5, times 5, times 5, times 5. So all your hours are being multiplied by 5. So your equation could be your m for mile, the total miles that you drive, is going to be what? 5 times what? The hours. Here's your equation, 5h. Okay? 5h. Now, you already have the values here, right? So let me just write that m equals 5h. 0. Don't start at 3 here and go 3, 4, 5. You got to make sure you got 1, 2, 3. If you did start with 0 and you wrote a 3 here, the next one has to be 6, 9, 12, right? Because every box has a value of 3. Be careful how you do this. So if you're not going to do that, but just, well, you shouldn't, because if you do 3, 6, 9, how are you going to put the 4 and 5? You're better off doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up and down. You can go, if you put the first one as 15, make sure you're going by 15s all the way up. 15, 30, 45. That's not good to us because that's not what you want. So if you go by 5s, it's probably better. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And you know that now you just got 3 matches with 15, 4 with 20, 5 like that. This is going to make a straight line for us. Okay? I give you a easy one. So the money that whoever is working here depends on the hours. So my equation, let's write my equation m, the money that he works, is it's a relationship times 6, times 6, times 6, times 6, times 6. So the money that's earned, so the money is going to be equal to 6 times the number of hours. Okay. So over here, 0. Oh, and I forgot to label. Don't forget to label your axis. So this is hours. You will lose the point for not doing it. This is money. Little arrow here. Little arrow here. And we're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can go by 30s. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Oops, should be over here. Straight line. Okay, and this is your bonus word. Don't ask me. Verge. Okay. Label. And that's it. Okay. I don't think it's a difficult test. It should be pretty straightforward. Okay.